in love with her, didn't you? And then the next day he spills his guts about falling in love and how much of a sucker he is, a typical mangina, a typical white knight. Oh, he's so ashamed. And I'm talking like 5 pages in a Word document worth of spilling his guts. He totally swears that this time he's on the level. So I, not actually knowing how on the level he is this time, decide to play devil's advocate and counsel him, giving him some good advice, which I will reiterate to him: get the fuck off the internet and get a life, mate. Then the next day he comes up with, dude, you're so fucking gullible. And goes on and on about how he really pulled the wool over my eyes. And he eventually said something like, how could you think that a man of my stature would actually fall for a pathetic flat-chested, pit-faced, single-parent mom, with a screaming and crying baby, living in the fucking slums? What the hell makes you think I wanted to get my dick wet so bad I would go slumming with her? Do I seriously look that pathetic to you? Which is really just a rehash of the shit he's been saying on Twitter from time to time. Well, this time, for the first time, I actually got upset and began to do a little arguing. I was tired of playing his stupid trolling game. He had gotten to the point where his trolling behavior was no longer amusing, it was frankly just boring and irritating at this point. What really pissed me off was his comment about her being poor, a single-parent mom, a ghetto bitch, a slummy. He immediately started all over again, as he done multiple times over the past week, with he knows I am Krista. And this time he is going to expose me unless I proved I wasn't Krista. I told him he can feel free to do that if he wants, fuck if I actually care. I so seriously bore of this teenage drama that has infected many MIAs due to him. He asked if I wasn't Krista, or I wasn't seriously in love with her, why was I defending her? In other words, his reason to believe that I was Krista, is that I was defending her. It's not so much that I was defending Krista per se, I was defending the more outrageous shit he was saying. Like, if someone says, hey, did you know that Adolf Hitler went around raping newborn babies before eating them? I would tell them what a load of shit that is, not because I have a need to defend Hitler, but because it is pure bullshit. So in that regard I was defending Krista. God, he is seriously fucking obsessed now that I really think about it. I realize what really got me angry is his criticism of how poor she is and she will always be poor. I realize now it upset me because it goes against my ideology. You see, I have said on a few occasions, that women want the privilege of living their lives like a child, parasitically leeching off of her husband's hard work. Enjoying the free ride in life their pussy affords them. Being protected and provided for like a child. And that's fine. Biology gives them this option. And if this is how women want to live, and this is the role of man and woman, that's fine. But as it was in the great past, a wife that must be protected and provided for, was a dependent, like a child. And thus became to some extent the property of the husband, the way a child is property of the parent. If they are going to live like children, then they are going to be treated as children by society and by law. And I'm okay with that. I'm not saying this is how I want things to be, or that there can be no other proper functioning balance of the genders. I'm just saying this is one option that has worked and can work. However, feminism came by and said we want to live like children, but we want to be treated like adults, all the while retaining our special childlike protected status. And feminism got that. And that upset the balance of man and woman, and it has only gotten worse since. I say this, if women want to be treated like adults, they must start living like adults. If they want the respect a man gets, they must work like a man does, and live as a man does. I have bitched about the overwhelming amount of women living on their free ride, their pussy pass, their female privilege, never getting off their lazy asses and trying, yet blaming that evil patriarchy for holding them down when they get a part-time job working at Walmart and they act as a part-time mom. And then wonder why part-time minimum wage doesn't bring in the same paycheck as their husband who is a master electrician, a computer programmer, or does heavy construction full-time. It's that evil patriarchy, of course. And now we see Krista, a woman who came from a rather abusive upbringing in the middle of Meth Head Central, got knocked up at a young age after passing out drunk. And she has decided, in spite of her looks, and you're goddamn right she's a pretty girl, in spite of her looks, which until she gets old and loses them, absolutely guarantees a man will give her a place to stay. In spite of that powerful pussy pass, she is actually working to better herself. She works, where I won't say, and she is studying law, so that she can move on from that dead-end job she works. She is studying law after motherhood, whereas most women study something like law or psychology, and then get knocked up. and then give up on a career to be a mommy with a part-time job at Walmart. Krista has already experienced motherhood and is still pushing forward to better herself, and is currently working. She hasn't succeeded in pulling her way out of poverty, but goddamn she's trying. She's not leeching off of government handouts, she receives no welfare, not even child support. So for you to make fun of her for lacking money, it's just hitting below the belt. I don't mind trash talking the welfare queens, or the Peggy Bundys of the world. But goddamn it, when women are fighting tooth and nail to be financially independent, get off their back. So Snake, that's why I got upset. Not because I am her and you're just hitting a nerve, as you suspect. But because I am proud to give credit and props to any woman who gets off her lazy ass and at least tries to better herself. And yeah, it does really irk me to see you on Twitter and elsewhere making fun of her poverty and telling her that she's slummy or whatever other references you used to indicate she was born in the gutter and will die in the gutter. It bothers me because here is a woman trying to better herself. The last thing I want to see is some jackass rubbing her nose in it, and verbally hoping for her failure. I mean, for crying out loud, it takes an act of Congress for a woman to get off of her ass and do for herself. Guys, when you see them actually do the unthinkable and get off their asses, when they are hot enough to coast on that pussy pass, dear God, gentlemen, don't do anything to discourage them and force them back into pussy pass parasite mode. So yeah, I got pissed at that. And for you to assume that makes me Krista. Are you seriously mental in the fucking head or something? So after all of that, and telling me he was lying and never gave a shit about that ugly slummy bitch with the boy body and the screaming baby, that it was all a ruse, he makes that video claiming I am her, and how he did it all for love, and oh what a chump he is. Dude, she never played you for a chump. But you played her for a chump, didn't you? You didn't do much for her channel. You got a lot of the MRAs that watched her channel and compulsively clicked the thumbs down button, to stop clicking, and for some of them to give a thumbs up. But then again, some of that could be her newer videos have less of a loud shock value behind them and thus exhibit less of a knee-jerk reaction. But at best, you got her videos some thumbs up, but you never actually raised her view count. All this bullshit you told me the last day we talked about how you wanted to see the poor slummy make something of herself as well. And that's why you were trying to promote her videos, but the dumb bitch is just too stupid to play along, so you couldn't make her big and famous the way you wanted to. And oh how you're a wealthy man who doesn't need to get tainted by a slummy like her, and should have known better than to associate yourself with welfare trash, and you were just trying to help her out, get her channel some traffic so she can make some money on her YouTube partnership. Look mate, if you have a fraction of the money you allude to having, in fact if you just have the amount of money I have, you could easily help her significantly more than all your drama horse shit ever did. You could buy her a $200 camcorder/action camera. That way she can record a video whenever she wants, not just when she gets to borrow her friend's laptop. And she could actually record in reasonable quality. Which means higher video quality and frequency. That would work out a hell of a lot better than irritating the fuck out of me and many other MRAs with your erratic dramatic histrionic horseshit. So don't pretend you ever gave a fuck about her financial situation, or at least knock off the bullshit routine of you being a moderately to severely wealthy person. You're a sad, lonely, pathetic troll who spends every waking moment on a dozen different sock accounts on YouTube and Twitter and gossip like a teenage girl. And you know what, that would be okay. Because the world needs trolls. Trolls have their place in a society. But here's the problem, here's the main problem. You doxed her. You released, not on YouTube, but to the internet, her personal information which can easily be used to establish her address. So all those creepy weirdos who inbox me, obsessed with every move Krista makes, and feels the need to expose the bitch can now go pay her a visit face to face thanks to you. Now to be honest, you ain't the first person to dox her, and you won't be the last. But that doesn't justify doxing. Doxing, it's like censorship, it crosses a line. In the same way that a person who employs censorship automatically folds, automatically loses the argument, those who dox lose any and all credibility. It goes from hey I'm just a big ol' troll having fun to hey I am straight up a lying deceiving sack of shit who will seriously stalk, harass and dox people. Again, I ain't slamming you because you're a dramaholic causing problems among a handful of YouTubers. Because drama is drama, and sometimes drama makes life fun. And I ain't slamming you because you're besmirching Krista's good name or any of that white knight shit. I'm slamming you because you took shit too far and you doxed her. And I know you did because I seen you, and I am the one that first told her about it. You played her for a chump, because she really thought she made a friend. She made a video that she still has up on her channel where she says Snake is a good guy. And he won't deceive you. And then you stab her in the back, drag her through the mud, involve lots of other people, and dox her.
Snake Plisskenist. What can I say about Snake Plisskenist? In the land of apples and eves, he is the good guy snake. He won't deceive you, but rather charm you with his humor and wit. All quips aside, and despite our ideological differences, and what I did to his eye a few years ago, sorry about that by the way, we still managed to maintain a fairly strong friendship. He really is a good guy.
Wow, I bet she seriously feels like a chump now. You know, in some strange way, you may have actually done one favor for her. Unintentionally of course. By being an insufferable asshole, lying and manipulating various people. And half of those people such as myself were onto your game from the word go. And were just bullshitting you right back to see how far you'd take it. But all the lies, the false flagging you really did.